What's up, Royals? I'm yours truly, King Chris. Welcome back to my channel. We're back with another conversation. Hope this video finds you in a positive place, a positive space. You're doing great. You're feeling good. What's up? How are you? I hope you're loving yourself. Hope you're loving somebody else. And if you're in a bad mood, please do not nobody day up because you're just having a moment. Just leave people alone. Get into this right here. And you'll be okay. Right? You will be great. You'll be good. What's up? The conversation. The white supremacists, the police, the KKK. They're back at it again. I knew it wouldn't be long. I knew it wouldn't be long before they would be back at it again. Which, they never stop. They never stop. If you are a black man, when they see you, you're always prejudged. So this one right here is straight out of Florida. This one right here is straight out of Florida. As we all know, as being black and brown skinned people, the biggest crime in America is just being black man, a black little boy, or just being black, period. That's the biggest crime, right? I mean, we know that, right? And how do we know that? Statistics shows. And guess what? We experience it. Real life. Facts. Truth. This one comes out of Florida right here. This one comes straight out of Florida right here. Black man in his yard minding his own business. He's loading some supplies so that he can go deliver them to the homeless people for the coronavirus. He wants to go help the corona's people. Little old white police, honey. Little old white supremacist police drive by and see that he has a lot of stuff spread all over his yard. He didn't like the conversation, so he decides to put the black man in handcuffs. And we know that's how it all starts. We know that's how it all starts. 76 black men and black boys have been killed by the police. Have been killed by the police just because you are black or you're brown skinned. The numbers are steady increasing of young black men and older black men are continually being victims of the police just for being black. Take a look.
After a video surfaced of an officer handcuffing and detaining an African-American doctor outside his home on Friday. The man, Armin Anderson, was wearing a mask and preparing for a volunteer shift, helping protect homeless people from the spread of COVID-19 when a patrol car pulled up to his home. Surveillance video from Dr. Henderson's house shows him loading a van with supplies before the encounter. Dr. Henderson says the police officer handcuffed him after accusing him of littering and then asking for identification, which Henderson did not have on him. The officer was not wearing a mask. Dr. Henderson was. He had to yell to his wife inside their home to present identification before the officer finally released him.
Yeah, I mean, just to add insult to injury, the cop isn't even wearing anything on his face to prevent the spread of the virus if he's infected himself.
The police department is saying it was a legitimate thing to pursue, but they're looking into whether the police officer acted appropriately once he got there. So apparently neighbors had complained about trash, and then he saw things that were in the yard that looked like trash. Okay, I actually think that's a fair beginning to the story. In some of those articles, if you don't watch the video, they say that Dr. Henderson was wearing a mask. And so that might get you to think like, maybe that's, that drew the suspicion of the police officer. First of all, everybody's wearing masks. But most importantly, as you saw in the video, he's wearing a medical type mask. So
Yeah.
that's the most benign thing you could possibly imagine in the middle of coronavirus. But once you get there, and the guy says, "I'm a doctor," I mean, it's not a catch-all thing. It's not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Some people could lie and not be a doctor. But he's in front of his house. It doesn't look like the homeowners, if you believe he's not the homeowner, is bothered by it. I mean, he's laid out all of these things in the yard. There's so many context clues that gets you to think maybe he owns the house. Maybe
Yeah.
he's not lying when he says he's a doctor.
Well, I
But-
think it's also important to hear from him because he was interviewed, and I want you to pay close attention to what the cop apparently accused him of, because that's important.
He pulled up next to me, questioning me if I lived there, if I worked here. I told him that I lived there. I told him what I was doing. I told him that, where I was putting the boxes was where the city of Miami comes to pick up our trash every week. For example, they're here this week, and people on my block are putting trash in the same place that I put the boxes, on Friday. And he just, at some point, he just didn't believe what I was saying, or he thought that I was being disrespectful, and decided to get out of the car and escalate the situation. Once he got out of the car, go ahead.
Keep going.
Once he got out of the car, he asked me for ID, which I said I didn't have. And, I was trying my best to keep cool during the situation and, remain steadfast on what I was doing, which was to be, at downtown Miami delivering food and tents to homeless individuals that live downtown. And so I pretty much went ahead and continued to do what I was going to do because I didn't know where this encounter was going. And then he just decided to put cuffs on me, basically. Once he put cuffs on me, I called for my wife. She came out and pretty much de-escalated the situation. But even before she came, he was like inches from my face, basically yelling that I should call him Sergeant, I should call him Sir. And with no mask on, he had no gloves on. I could feel his saliva on my lips. It was just a crazy encounter.
He was accused of disrespecting the police officer.
How many times have I said it on the show, Anna? Biggest crime in America is disrespecting a police officer. It's not in any legal book. It's not an actual crime, but that's the number one reason that the cops will harass you, arrest you, handcuff you, you name it. Why is the cop said you're not respecting me, and that's why he put the cuffs on him. That's not a crime. Well, you don't put handcuffs on someone because they didn't call you sir.
And now we see that it all boils down to that this white little punk of a police got mad because he feel that this black man didn't respect him by saying yes sir to him or calling him sergeant or something like that, which is ludicrous. And I bet you still yet today, I bet he still has his job. And if he doesn't have his job, I bet you he's still getting paid for it because, they have to investigate it. They have to investigate it. This right here just shows how being black, you're just automatically a criminal because of your color. And it shows you that the police and law enforcement has no respect for you, but they want you to respect them. And he wants someone to respect him and say yes sir to him and things like that just because you have a badge and a gun. Who in the hell do you think you are when you can't be respectful to people on your own? When you can't be respectful to people your own self. And then he has no probable cause of stopping this man, no probable cause of asking this man for his ID. This whole thing was just totally wrong. Once again, a black man life is in the hand of one of these white supremacists. One of these white KK supremacists. That's what it is. It's black police profiling at its best. At its best. And then they say, oh, well, since the neighbors were complaining about trash, it was okay for him to stop and investigate. How in the hell was it okay for him to stop and investigate? You see the white van. You see the man got a mask on his face. You see the things that's laid out in the yard. Does that look like trash to you? And then he gets out and he still puts the man in handcuffs because he didn't like the way that the conversation was going. But it's okay. But it's okay. Once again, it shows black and brown skinned people lives do not matter to the white supremacists, to the law enforcement. And why should we respect them? Why should we respect them? Especially as being a black man. Especially as being a black man. They look at you. And if you look at them wrong, they want to lock you up and put you in handcuffs. And they want someone to respect them. What he wants them to say, yes sir, no sir to him? Who are you, white man? Who are you, white boy? Who are you, white punk? Who are you, white supremacist? Who are you? There it goes. There you have it. The conversation. Once again, white supremacist at his finest. And I bet you after all this is said and done, he still will have his job. He will still have his job because he did nothing wrong besides harassing this black doctor in his own yard, minding his own business, doing nothing wrong. And know that other people had trash in their yard too. You heard him say that, right? But you want to stop it. You want to profile this black man right here. It's because the neighborhood that he's in, he doesn't belong there. He's trashing the yard. Is that what it is? The only thing was wrong about this stop was that a black man was in his yard, minding his own business, doing something that he was getting ready to go give. He was doing a charitable moment. None of that was talked about. None of that won't even be shared. You won't hear that. You'll just hear that, oh, the cop did nothing wrong. He did everything that was wrong. There was not a crime committed. Why did he have to give you his ID when he was standing in front of his yard? Why did you even have to go and put the man in handcuffs? Once again, white supremacists at its best, the law enforcement.
It knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number in the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
And so obviously that's the famous putting disinfectant inside your body, and it does a number on your lungs. Yeah, that's true. It would do a number on your lungs. You would die. That's what he just said yesterday, of course, and what everybody's talking about. So it's new, and it is spectacularly over the top. So it's probably the favorite going in. But, you know, I wouldn't sell the invisible jets or the wind causing cancer short.
Now we're going to just keep moving right along. Your ignorant president, Trump, Donald. I don't even call him a president because he doesn't even fit the criteria of being a president. And I really don't think that he even won the president award the way that he's supposed to. But this man is just one ignorant, dumb man, must we all agree and must we all say. And once again, he makes the Republicans look like a fool. They fight for him. They believe in him. They stand behind him. This ignorant man wants to ingest people with household disinfectants, bleach, Lysol, to cure a virus. Have you ever sat down and read? I mean, you don't even have to read to know that this shit is poisonous for your body. It's just something that you just don't do. This is just one ignorant, racist, dumb, pink pig of a person. It just really doesn't make any sense at all. How in the hell you're going to tell somebody, let's look into injecting people with something that is considered to be poisonous? Well, hell, we all know that he can't read. We all know that he can't read. And we all know that he can't spell. So, I mean, hey. Should we expect more from him? Should we expect for him not to say anything like this? I think the best thing for this man to do is just keep his mouth closed and stay off in front of the media and let the medical people handle it, because he's just apparently ignorant. He's just apparently ignorant. It's no recovery from this for him. I'm tired of it. It's just foolish. Good God, Lord. But they put him in office. The Republican stands behind him. That's why when it's time to vote, you have to get out there and you have to vote for president. But you have to vote for these elected officials that you send to Washington to make decisions for you. Because if not, we're going to end up like we are again, with a dumb ass president. A racist, narcissist, stupid president. Donald. He's the worst thing ever for America. He's the worst thing ever for America. He can't, we all know that he can't read, so maybe he didn't take the time to get someone to read to him about that you can't inject your body with these things, you can't drink these things, you can't ingest these things. I'm not sure how this is going. I'm not sure how this is going. But please, please, do not ingest yourself with these chemicals, because it's harmful to your body. It's harmful to your body. There you have it, the conversation. Please make certain that you subscribe, like, share, thumbs up, ring the bell so that you can keep up to date to all my videos as I upload them. Royals, please be safe out there. Please remember, try to stay home to stay safe. Stay safe by staying home. We can do it. We can do it. Remember, stay up, never down. Let all them haters, let them haters be your necessaries. Let them be the ones to motivate you to be better, to be great, to be good. Don't let them drag you down. Stay up, never down. You can do it. Until we meet again, Royals, may God bless. Mwah.